the cuff, raw,
real,
and unscripted. Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to yet another amazing episode here at Off the Cuff with me, Sharon Kamau. And today we are talking about a very good topic, if I may say, about healing from friendship breakups. Kuna watu kwa waja heal and they need to heal and they don't know that they need to heal. So today we are here to talk about healing from friendship breakups and everything to do with it. And we have a very wonderful young lady who is here with us. And she's going to tell us about herself. She's going to introduce herself and tell us her names. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
And you look smart. You look beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate you look beautiful too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So my name is Benoh, and I am born again to start with. I'm an auditor by profession, and I host a podcast by the name Benoh, by the name Life and Love Podcast. And yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
So Benoh, what was your life like when you were growing up?
My life.
Your childhood.
My childhood.
Yes.
Actually, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, I can't even remember what I did when I was young. And when I was at high school, you know, we were reading, working hard to go to university. Of course, that was our goal by then. We were all working hard to go to university. Like that was the major thing we were shown by the teachers, by the parents. But my growing up was good. I really can't complain because God was faithful. My both parents are there. I have siblings. They were supportive. I mean, family side, I can say God has been faithful. I'm okay. Like
how many high schools did you go to?
Two.
Why two? At least why did two? Wengine wamesomea 10.
Two because the first one I went to Kitui, or I come from Kitui, Mwingi to be specific. So the first high school, nilienda Form 1 in a certain school, I won't mention it. But I was like, when I was getting to Form 2, it was hard.
Why was it hard? Because it was in Kitui?
Not really.
Because Form 2 was hard.
Generally. No, not even Form 2 was hard. The way we were welcomed, actually, I joined Form 1 like 1 week. Like the end of the week, at the end of the week, ukapata kuna wale watu walireport Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I guess I reported around, if not Thursday, Friday, I can't really remember. Nilifika nikapata uniform zimeisha, so I had to stay with my primary uniform for like some days, and I was a small person, as you can see. So you can imagine, nikienda Form 1, I was like, I was small and Kataini. It was just something else. Then I was like, this life is too hard in this school, by the way, because si zile shule you can go with anything like food stuff. It's just you, soap, toothpaste, na hizo vitu. Like you can't carry anything else. Plus uchapwa, like it was an extra county school, so they could put all the pressure on you to just maintain to perform. So I felt like manze, I won't manage. So this is what I did. Of course nimeokoka from kitambo. So I went for a conference. This is a KCF. And I was like, after nimeenda home, they usually happened after tumefunga. So there were during your period ya holiday. So after that conference, I was like, Mom, I'm not going back to that school. In fact, watu wakifungua kama kesho, I actually didn't wash my uniform.
What?
And my mom was like, why are you not washing your uniform? What's wrong with you? I was like, I'm not going back. Like, I'm not going to that school. Like, I'm done.
How was her reaction?
She was like, utaenda tu. So, you know, African mothers. Like, utaenda tu. So I didn't wash my uniform. Siku ya kuripoti ikafika ya kurudi shule. I was like, sijapanga hata vitabu. Like I've done nothing. I've done nothing. Uniform ni chafu. Then she was like, what's wrong with you? And you know African mothers.
Yes.
Hiyo conference ulienda, mapepo zilikuingia. So I was like, it's not all about mapepo. I'm like, I'm not going back to that school. I'm not going back to that school because, well, I can say at some point it was toxic. Some teachers were toxic. Like I was like, no. Like it was, and I was at CU official, but I was like, no, I will not survive here. So I took like 1 week, and my mom was like, ukifikiria kurudi shule, uniambie. Nitakurudisha.
Mimi ningerudishwa na
Actually, the day she didn't even beat me. Like I was like, they just called me for a meeting with my dad. They were like, "Ebu tell us the problem." And I was like, "Me too sitaki tu kurudi hiyo shule." I actually didn't give them any reason.
And then now I
stayed for like 1 week. By then my dad used to stay at Machakos. So akanitafutia shule huko.
Now a day school or
it was both day school and boarding, but I went for boarding. But at least that one was better. You could feel at least you have room ya ku study without too much pressure, too much kukaziwa. Like you can just do your thing just like that. And I tell you, by the way I performed. But I usually say if nilimalizia form 4 the same school I started, like hata singepata hiyo opportunity ya kwenda campus. It was that bad.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
See, we thought hizo shule zenye watu wanakaliwa ndio watu wanaperform.
Hey, no. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Like I mean, you don't have to insult someone ashike sabu. You don't have to ama ashike chemistry ama ashike anything. Like you don't have to. There's a way you can just do it without insulting them or making you look toxic. I usually say, in fact, teaching is a calling more than a profession. It is a calling. And if you don't have that heart and that calling, you might end up messing people's children.
True. So now you leave high school, you go to campus.
No, I leave high school.
You performed very well.
Yeah, I performed very well.
Math, my
hesabu nilikuwa na A-. What are you saying?
Okay, you know, let me tell you. You know, I really failed math. I failed. Kidogo tu hivi nipate D. Kidogo tu hivi. Because I really failed math. I don't know what happened.
Math is simple. Anyway.
Okay.
Now I leave high school. I actually performed very well. In fact, in that other school yenye nilitoka, there was that math teacher alikuwa anatuita, wacha nisitu, like alikuwa anatuita Zongoto. Zongoto in Kikamba is like you're just nothing. Ni kama kisufuri. So he had those people that when alikuwa wenye wana perform anawapenda sana. Do you know, actually after nilimaliza form 4 and my results came and I had A- in maths, I actually sent him the results. I was like, see, you're Zongoto guy with A-. Like it was that bad. Now I performed. Nikapata B-. I went to campus.
So how was campus life? The first week of campus.
Maybe that should be story for another day. But my first week in campus, actually, sisi ilikuwa hiyo time ya corona. So we joined first online. We started our classes online. And it was tough. Nilikuwa huko home, and you know, some parts of Kitui, including our part, network inaweza kuwa another story.
Huko mwingi no market huko. I know those places.
So you actually know. So network inaweza kuwa kizungumkuti. And ilikuwa tu hivi. So I was like, badala ni struggle here, my sister ako Nairobi, so I can just come to Nairobi and make my online classes a little bit easier. But it was tough. But now the first semester tulifanya online, and I did a different course with what my education journey. I did another course. Like I was doing another course, na vile tulikuja ku resume face to face, I changed my course to something else.
Okay. Why is that?
I was like, manze,
which course were you doing?
I was doing business, Jehovah God, BBIT. Something to do business with IT. Let me just say
management and IT.
Yeah, let me just say business with IT. Now hao ni watu education walinichuzia hiyo. I was like, this is not my thing. But I did the first semester, got the results, and I was like, no, I'm going to change to do what I feel. I was like, 4 years is too long to do something that I'm not even passionate about.
True.
So I was like, I'm not doing things. So we came back for face to face. So si usha report. So actually no one brought me to school. Like ni mimi nilijipeleka, nikajitafutia nyumba, nikaenda kujiadmit because it looked like we are doing admission afresh. Nikajiadmit afresh, nikazunguka, nikatafuta nyumba afresh, nikatafuta everything. Yeah,
that sounds like my story. I also did that.
I was like, but then my parents came to know my school, graduation. Like hawajai step huko, wali step siku ya graduation. Yeah.
So and how are your friendship now when you're in high school now? Are you okay with ladies and both? Ilikuwa mixed school?
Yeah, it was actually the one when I transferred to, it was a mixed school, both boarding and day. Yeah.
So how are your friendships in high school?
My friendship in high school, let me say my friendship maneno zilianzanga high school. But when I joined, there's this friend who, she was so good. She was like, hi, how are you? I'm fulani. And she was like, this is what we do, this is where we sleep, this is like your two orientation. She was very friendly. And I met friend out of her. She was good. But unajua hizi maneno za high school na utoto sometimes unapata mmenyamaziana for no good reason. I mean you're just there. So okay, actually she's my friend to date. We usually talk but not ile ya kabisa. But at least once in a while we say hi, how are you doing, in case she has an issue. Sometimes she reaches out, I help where I can. Yeah, so that was one. Okay, I had so many friends.
Yes. Now you enter campus, a completely new environment.
I know no one.
Tell us the story. Give us the story. Start giving us.
I know no one. So I came and when I was in high school, I had joined some group and so when I was coming to campus, I was like, fulani nimeitwa Zitek and I know you live around like unaweza. So I had some two people that I can actually maybe talk to but they were not really my friends. They were more of big brothers or something. So but so I came to campus first year, tumeingia class. Of course there are those friends that you make friends the first day. You meet someone like unafanya hii course, hata mimi nafanya hii course, where is the class, trying to figure out timetable inasomwa aje, classes zinakuanga wapi. So you know campus like hiyo timetable si kama ya high school. You're like hiyo timetable hata uelewi kunaenda aje. So
I think one thing I struggled with when I went to campus was writing admission. Nilikuwa nashangaa yote BMs what wanaandika, and someone is writing it so I'm like what is this?
You're like inakaa tu struggle, but
alafu ni kubwa
na nikushika it's sometimes
hard.
But in hizo harakati za twende to change course, hata mimi na change hii course to hii course, hapo you just make some okay, we can just call them friends. And you're like umeenda class hizo. But now the real friends when I came to make friends with, I actually, of course I joined CU.
Definitely.
Because why
important.
Not? So I joined CU and hapo ndio nilipata some friends. And sometimes I sit down and I was like sometimes I sit down and I say but then if I was to be taken back to time okay, I don't know how it will sound, but if I was to be taken back to time, singe join CU.
Okay, tell me about it. Tell me about
That's why I said it might sound a little bit off. Because that's where I feel all these heartbreaks came from. and it is what.
So hawa ni wasichana wanakuonyesha tulete serviette we can
we will manage.
So ni wasichana wanakuletea hivi heartbreak.
We will manage.
Ama ni wanaume wanakuletea
both, yeah. I can say both. Well, I don't see you, and you see, mimi ni ule mtu, well, you see, if you have a calling inside you, itakuanga tu inakusumbua. It always, sometimes you cannot just keep calm. So I don't see you, and I was so vibrant, missions hapa huko tu huko, like you're just active. Within just some few hours or weeks, kuna watu wamekunotice this girl, she's actually very
active.
She's very active in things to do with God. So there was this mission. By then I was just first year, so kulikuwa na mission somewhere, and the CU ilikuwa about to transition the leadership. So uko watu walikuwa wanalala. It was like a 1 week mission or something. And it was like aka kasichana kamechangamka, tuandikie majina ya watu wenye wanaenda mission na wanaenda kulala. Like that's where my assignment began ya campus. So like nikajuana na watu wa CU. It was just like that, made friends. Now, tuka proceed. That was first year. Actually, first year ikiisha, I served as the secretary wa CU. First year and second year. Third year na fourth year ikiisha, then I served as the chair lady. Sasa si unaona sasa in that position umejuana na watu. So that's why I made friends. And na hizi titles za mom, dad, so you know hizo titles za high school, za campus, I mean, na za CU. So unapata kuna kaka group, mko na mom, mko na dad, blah 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 blah. And out of the CU, I actually made good friends. And you see, I don't know if I say it's a weakness or it's a strength, but I have this character in me that I hold people so dear to me. Like if I choose to love you, Sharon, well, my God.
Unachukua di loan. Unachukua loan unatuachia.
Like I can well, not to brag, but just that who I am. Like I can love people with everything that I have. Like I can always be there for you. Where hata niite saa 9 I can come. Like niambie you need, I don't know what, I will find a way of making sure you have that thing. Like I hold people so dear to me, like people that I have chosen to love. So when I love,
100% hakuna kujibakishia.
But sasa I've learned.
Now just to take you back a little bit, you say that joining CU, if you are to ask, you'll never join CU. What made you think like that?
I mean, like, okay, well I would join, but not ile I'll be so active. Like wangekuwa tu wananiona kama normal mshirika na kuja fellowship, naenda zangu. Because I feel most of the hearts that I've dealt with, they came from that place. Not to live alone struggles, ministry and all that, but most of the heartbreaks and hearts and heartaches that I have, and most of emotional hearts that I've dealt with, that's what, like hiyo ndio ilikuwa tu, they came from there, like it was the source.
So what are some of these hearts that you experienced when you were in CU? Tuandike list.
Sidhani kama tutaandika list juu hey. Wow.
Sema tu.
I don't know how to put it, but
it is.
Of course, in between there kumekuwa na heartbreak. In between there kumekuwa na betrayals. Like you're like, by the way, I like sometimes you can't even understand how after doing everything that you did for someone, like why should they just pay you with a betrayal, or they just decide to hurt you. Like why? Why would you do that? Like who does that? So I won't say I'm healing. Like I have healed.
Yes.
Well, I feel I have healed.
Yes.
But unajua, sometimes healing cannot just it's not, sometimes it can be instantaneous, but most of the healings that we experience in process.
Yeah, it
like
takes time.
It takes time. It takes time. And I used to say time heals.
Yeah.
And it has happened to me. Unajua kuna zile statements sometimes back ulikuwa unazisema just because maybe you've read them somewhere or you have heard them somewhere na zikakumotivate until it happens to you and you're like enyewe time heals. And it heals all wounds. By the way, it heals all wounds. Like it heals. So I just gave it time. Gave it time.
So which is this heartbreak that you felt and it was the worst you experienced?
Now I had these friends. They were very good friends. And najua tu easy mom. What? I had these friends and they were the my most inner circle. And if you just wake that person from sleep na umulize who is Benoh, like they'll tell you. They will tell you everything about me. Like wananijua. Like ni hile you've opened up yourself to your friends. Not knowing that, by the way, it's possible that no one will really stay forever. So I've even learned to limit myself. So in this friendship, it was just so good. Like, a normal friend. I'm a normal friend because it in ndani yake it was both genders. So ilikuwa like aka group and the people that were so dear to me. So it happened that I might not give details, by the way, like details.
Too guzi.
But now the thing that hurt me most, let me start there. It's because all along, imagine for 3 years, these people they were not honest with you. You can imagine, Sharon, you've been honest with someone like them. 100%. And you come after vitu zimedhogodhana huko ndani later in life, ndio unakuja kujua by these people they were hiding something. They were hiding something.
A lot of things.
They were hiding something. And you're like, not where it hurts the most. I nilikuwa nimeuliza, like I'd asked questions. And I'm like, fulani na fulani mko sure? Mko sure there's nothing? And everyone is like, no,
there's nothing going on.
There's nothing.
Brother and sister in the Lord.
Until kikurambe. Brother and sister. And I was like, I was honest with my life, but now these guys, they were hiding something from me. And I was wondering, when I was healing, in my healing process, I was wondering, why would they tell people outside what is happening within their circle, within themselves? Then, many when have always been there, they hide it. Why? It made me ask myself so many questions, like, where did I go wrong? Like, all I did, I was just being nice, you know? And ilifika place and I was like, by the way, this is my heart, I'll just let it be. Like, I'll stop being nice to people. Anyway, but I realized I cannot change. I cannot change that. So the other thing that was hurting me as well was like, I am prioritizing you, but you're taking me as an option. Like why? Like why? Like I have chosen because I know you're my friend, and see, if we've been friends and we defined our friendship, I'm like, I expect you to reciprocate what I'm giving you. So I'm giving you priority, you're giving me second option.
Yes. Well, okay.
And you know, it took a lot of courage for me actually to leave.
So when you're leaving this friendship, what is going on in your mind?
Oof. Your stress. Unajua, nilianza na kusema like I hold people so dear to me. So I was like, I didn't expect this friendship will ever end.
Kama forever.
We died together. We're in this thing. Kumbe I was alone. But I was like, I asked myself so many questions. Like, why would I be honest with you and
you're
all
not.
you choose is
Mm-hmm.
and you're being dishonest, something that I've asked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
So when I was leaving, I was like, I'm living in denial, but I feel it's time to leave.
Yes.
I feel it's time to leave because at some point to me it looked toxic. Like that was toxic because to me I could define it as being toxic. Not ile toxic yet they insulted me or they did anything. Well, before ikuje kuisha it got to a point that they actually said words that
were not really good words.
That were not good. And
so you
I don't know if
decided
I'm giving this story the way I'm supposed to give it.
Give it the way you are supposed to give it now.
Sijui, I don't know if I'm giving it the way I'm supposed to give it, but I don't know.
So now you decide to leave the friendship or the relationship you people had. So what made you actually say, you know what, enough is enough, I cannot do this anymore?
Let me tell you, I had said enough is enough for so long.
Yes.
Yeah? Like ni kama nilimaliza months just saying enough is enough. Because when these rivals and everything started, ilikuwa early last year. So early last year, ndio kulianza tumaneno. And I was like, I'm done for the first month. Hadi nikaandika kwa diary. I'm done. Like I'm done. I'm done. But I find myself, because of ile
the love
upendo,
you have for them,
I'm going back and telling them, do you know what? We can still agree on these things.
Yes,
we can talk. We can talk it out.
It's never this serious, by the way.
Yeah, we can talk it out. You know, we can handle whatever it is. Like we can agree. We can sit down and talk.
Yes.
And I find myself actually asking for forgiveness kwa watu wenye they are supposed to be. You know.
Yeah, they're the ones
like
who
that.
are supposed
Yeah.
to ask for forgiveness.
Umewajipata in a place, someone wronged you, but as the discussion starts, ikikuja kuisha ni wewe una apologize.
Sema pole.
Instead of like, I don't know. Sijui if you've ever dealt with someone like that.
I have, yes.
Like you can see kwa hii story ni wewe uko na makosa Sharon. But at the end of the day, because I want to keep the friendship, I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just forget it. I'm sorry.
And are they sorry themselves?
They are not.
They are not sorry.
They are not. You're like, I'm forgiving you not because you asked me for forgiveness, but it's okay. At the end of the day, I'm sorry.
So now you decide to leave. How does this healing journey look like?
Yeah, healing journey can be terrible. Sometimes you feel you've healed. You're okay. But other times, you wake up and it's like ndio imekuwa fresh. Ni kama it has just happened. The heart is fresh. Like the emotions, the emotional heart is still fresh. Like hizo siku ndio unaamkanga and you're like you're thinking about them. Hey, well.
So when you started healing, what did you do to make you heal? Did you go for therapy? Did you look for people to talk to?
I tell you, I called some pastors and I was like, Manze, let's see it. I want to talk to you.
Joshua saa zingine una feeling ni kama I'm not supposed to be hurt. I'm not supposed to be feeling like this.
And I'm like, nikifika hapo maneno zinaniishia. I'm like, okay, basi I called you. But hata sijui nikuambie nini. Cause sijui nikuambie aje uelewe. But I came to realize you shouldn't actually share too much because it opens you up to some kind of desperation. If you share too much and you're like, this person is not understanding me the way she's supposed to understand or is supposed to understand, then you go to someone else and you keep on jumping from this person to that person. At the end of the day, it will create some desperation in you, which at the end of the day you will not heal. Yeah, you will just be worse because sasa hata utakuwa umekuwa desperate and you're desperate for something that you
did not. Okay.
You didn't plan for.
All right. So what lessons did you learn from the friendship and from the healing journey?
Okay.
What are some of the friendships you say you've learned and you'll tell someone not to do?
Before we go to the lessons, let me share how I healed. First, I had to relocate because these were people tulikuwa tu in 1 minute nimefika kwake and my house was always open and they had the spare keys so they could come anytime. Like my house was that, like I was that, like they could come waingie kitchen, they cook, they like mtu angekuja tu apate kitu and they eat and they are like they don't have to ask for permission because it's like this is their house and it's my house. So I had given out that much. So I relocated first. I was like staying around here,
out of sight, out of mind.
Staying around here will only make my things worse because I'm staying here and nasema sitaki kuona but one way or another nikitokea job I'll find myself nimepitia. I'm like I'm texting, where are you, can I come to your place, can I see you? You see, so kwenye niko sahi hata can I see you hata
utatumia fare,
utafikiria
mara mbili kama unataka kutumia fare,
utafikiria sasa hata saa zingine hiyo pesa hauna. So you're like it has saved me. So I relocated first. That was my first step to healing. I relocated. Second, I deleted every memories we had made in form of pictures, videos. Nilikuwa nazidelete nikilia. Zingine unaangalia like wow, this was so beautiful. But I had to delete all of them. Deleted pictures, deleted videos. Na si zile una delete kwa gallery unaacha kwa Google Photos. Nilisonga hadi kwa Google Photos, deleted everything. I'm like, if this was really meant to happen, we can create new memories. Like we have our phones. Places za kwenda hazijaenda anywhere. If it works out someday, we can create new memories. So I had to erase all the memories. I had looked for a therapist, but others didn't mwongelesha. In fact, I met her the other day in one of conferences nilikuwa nimeattend. I was like, oh, you are fulani the therapist I was looking like we've never met. Nitoa tu number and I was like, let me reach out. I used to tell her nitakutafuta but I was like, I don't even know how to share. Like sijui hata niseme aje. So first I relocated, second I deleted every memory. I was like, it's done. That I used to write because now I don't have anyone to talk to.
You write
everything that I feel. I write it down. Like if I give you that notebook, hey Sharon utalia. You will cry because hey, like every single hiyo tu kidogo hata kama ni usiku
unaamka
na nimezi not na time. So utapata mingi niza huko masaa 6 masaa 7
sasa usingizi
ikuji. But then you know it was worse, like that's how worse my emotion can be affected. It was worse that you know I have to go to work. Hiyo time ni last year ndio nimeanza kazi. I'm fresh in my work. Like I need to learn kufanya kazi and I still have to heal. So nikiwa job, if I'm not busy, sometimes I could find myself crying, but colleagues hata hawaoni. Now na hawajui mimi nawachekesha tu. Like I'm that kind of a person. Nikiwa nje you smiles
even know.
And I'm there to offer shoulder to lean on to anyone who is feeling anyone who is feeling they are down. Like I can offer a very good shoulder to lean on. Yet nimeshindwa hata kujioffer my own shoulder. I'm like I actually, and your time God actually was even bringing people on my way. And people were actually, some of them were going through what I was going through. Now imagine I have to give hope to that person.
Na wewe hata una hope wewe mwenyewe.
So actually that's how ilinisaidia pia kuheal, cause as I'm telling them, I'm actually feeling like I'm telling myself. I'm like do this, don't talk to them. Saa hiyo mimi nangangana ani siwa text.
Did you block the number?
Hi, of course. What are you saying? In fact kuna moja hata saa hii sijawahi rudisha kwa contact. Like that even the the end.
And do you at times feel like you want to text them?
Of course. Of course. But you're allowed to miss them. But missing them doesn't mean you're supposed to have them back in your life. Like you can miss them, and missing them is actually, it's obvious. It's obvious. Sometimes you'll sit down and feel like, by the way, I miss the moments we had. I miss how beautiful we could just go out, have fun, bezi ya mtura, tunazunguka tu, tunapiga maraundi. Like there's nothing even, there's nothing you're doing important. You're just being there and having our moment. I miss them sometimes, but not, I don't mean I want them back. Because that was too much to deal with. I would never want to find myself in such state.
So now you deleted the numbers. You blocked them. You deleted the memories. You moved. So how does your healing start? Apart from that.
I paused having friends for a while. Actually, sahi ndio I'm opening up my heart to receiving new people, but ni hile ya once betrayed,
twice shy.
So I'm like, I am accepting you, but not to this extent. Like in fact in one of my episodes I've done solitude. In my healing journey, that's where I learned solitude. Like I came to realize I was giving too much yet receiving less, and I was giving too much yet not giving myself the much that I gave. And nikasema, now it's time, love others as you love yourself.
True.
And then I decided, let me just start with me. So right now, friendships and iso being entitled.
So what are the lessons that you learned during this healing journey?
Being honest, because that was the root cause of everything. Being honest, like if I am your friend, and if I've opened up my heart and my life to an extent that you can feel this is personal and this is too delicate to share, then you should be honest. Like ni ile tu expectation. Like I've learned not to give too much. Not to give too much, yet I'm giving myself less. I have learned
to love yourself first.
Love yourself first. Prioritize yourself. In that episode of solitude yenye nimefanya, I'm like, if love yourself, like learn how to belong to yourself such that being with yourself feels safe and feels loved, and being with other people feels like a bonus, like it's not fulfillment of life and happiness. Like you don't have to depend on people for joy, for happiness, because that's where I went wrong. Like I was like, if a moment I don't have these people around, not because I am at work, not because I'm busy, not because I'm at church, at some point I'll feel lonely. Like I had not created that enough space for myself to always feel okay with myself. So I've learned to feel okay with myself, and I tell you, I'm enjoying having my own time.
It's very important.
Hata nimekuwa indoor person, like I'm just okay.
Netflix and chill.
I'm just okay being with myself. Like I'm just fine.
I think also it's a very good thing. Something that was on my list, my 2024 list, was a solo date. Just go. I treated myself. I just went to a hotel, bought good food on my own, alone. I just dressed well. I did makeup. I just went and ate well. And I think when you are able to do that, then you're also able to accommodate other people. Because at times we look for friendship and relationship because we feel like we are not enough by ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. But then, do you know, I sat down and nika calculate just randomly, nika approximate pesa yenye naweza kuwa nilitumia to a certain person who was my friend. I was like, but this sijaitumia pesa mingi, sijaitumia hiyo pesa kwangu. Hey.
So was it kujipatia hiyo pesa?
I was like, it's time. Like it's time I do everything. Like I could give out and yet mimi tu niko sawa. Like I'm just okay.
Bare minimum.
I'm just okay. But I've learned how to appreciate myself. I've actually known myself better. Like do you know, I came to realize most of the times I was just around people and I could accept so much what people said about me, and I didn't take time to actually know who I am, like who I am for real, who I am. And I was like, I've had times that I've actually brought the real me out without depending on what people are saying about me. And I'm like, I've actually known myself, and I'm like, by the way, the reason why I used to accept bare minimum from people, it's because I didn't know myself well. Sikuwa nimefika hiyo point I know my worth, like I can say no, because it was just twende uko twende. Like I was that weak to say no just because I loved. Now imagine hii si relationship, ni friendship.
Ni friendship. Na sasa relationship tutakweka hadi maji.
But they're talking of that, do you know that my healing journey was crazy. Because nakumbuka nimelala OC. Nikiekwa drip.
It was serious.
It was serious. It was serious. And I'm like, I've learned a lot to love myself, to prioritize myself, and not to give too much to people that are giving you less. And if you feel you're not getting what you feel you should get, leave. Like it's not a must. There's no gun on your head to stay there. There's no gun on your head to stay there. If you feel you're not being prioritized and being taken for who you really are, if they are not appreciating you, just leave. It's not a must you stay there. Leave. Because many are the times that I could stay even after not being appreciated. And you look at this and you're like, by the way, you should have appreciated, like siwezikuwa nimefanya all this and you cannot even recognize. And if you, but then, you know, I've had those friends when you can do 99% things correct, but just do that 1% wrong, and they're like, you're this, you're this, you're this.
But see, that's who you are to them.
You're this, you're this, you're this, and you're like, you can't even check the 99%. It outstands the 1% that you meshinda ukisema, and it's just once in a while. Like, appreciate me. So like I'm like, by the way, if I start a friendship with someone and I feel ni kama tu unanibeba ufala, I leave. It's not a must I stay there. Si lazima.
What other lessons did you learn from this friendship and the healing journey now?
To depend on God. Like to fully depend on God. I used to depend on God, but until I got into this healing journey and I was like, by the way, it's only God who can completely heal you. Like you can try the other things, but if you just allow God to heal you, He will just do that. Because I struggled for like a half the year trying to figure out how I'm going to heal. But the moment I was like, I surrendered it all to God, it was easy for me to heal. And just being honest with God. Like sometimes I could sit down and tell God, but this is how I'm feeling. And this is how I'm feeling. Like I could just talk to Him like I'm talking to the way I'm talking to you. Just tell Him everything and be honest with Him. The Bible says that He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds.
Yes.
And that scripture has been a reality to me. Like He honestly heals. He heals. And I've learned not to revenge, because if I revenge, it will only make things worse. Like true strength and genuine strength comes from healing and genuinely healing. Not wishing them the same hurt they hurt you, but just forgiving them and allowing God to deal with your heart. Just forgiving them and tell God, I did my best. I think I did my best, and if it doesn't work, then you're able, like you know better than I know. So you're in a better position to deal with me, because I cannot help myself. So I've really learned to lean on God and depend on God.
Which other lessons have you got from this?
For now, to just be resilient and be reserved. Like right now, I'm very reserved. I can tell you, in my new place, I don't know, sijui ni nani anajua kwangu, except my sisters.
Okay. All right. That's something.
And if someone amejua kwangu, maybe I have a friend from DC, Ali let her pack something and ordered.
So that is why they knew your place.
That's why they knew my place.
Which is it's important to also. I think I'm also in a place. I was telling my friends that there's a place where you don't want a lot of people in your space. You just want to calm down and figure out things, and you can be so good to people and they don't see.
Of course, and it makes you feel less like you start questioning your worth. And friendships, I don't think friendships should make you question your worth. Friendship should be a safe space where you can feel appreciated, and you're like, if I have this friend, I know, like even if any other person tries to say something else negative, I know my friend is there. Like I know they appreciate me. They can say something good about me. So a friendship should not be a space where we have too many problems, and friendship should not be one of it.
Them. It should not be one of them.
Not.
So what would you tell someone who is first of all, start with in a friendship that people are not appreciating them?
Leave.
Leave.
My sister, leave. My brother, leave. Leave.
And what would you tell a person who is in the healing journey, who is in healing can be in very, very different forms. It can be in healing from friendship, healing from relationship, healing from losing a loved one, which is a great, and it's something I think people overlook, but it's really something. So what can you tell that person who is in the healing process and in the healing journey?
Not talking about let me talk about healing maybe from friendship and from friendship breakup and even relationship breakup, because healing from a lost
losing a person is completely
that
different.
one it's completely different.
Completely different.
That one, for that person, when you're heal from they have lost someone they loved, I can tell them, just depend on God. Your wound now, it's only God who can heal. They can try therapy, but even after trying therapy, just give it all to God.
Yeah.
And healing from relationship and friendship breakups. One, detach. Detach. Distance yourself as much as you can. If you have to block them, block them. If you have to relocate, as I did, relocate. Just detach. Detach. That distance helps. And but did you know communication can create something, and communication actually creates bonds. Actually it's what creates bonds.
Yes,
because if you're not communicating, then it's not easy to create a bond. But if you're communicating today, tomorrow, every time, lunchtime break, ukoaje, unaendeleaje, at some point it will bring some bond, and it will be hard for you to break. So if you have to cut communications, if you have to
setting
leave,
boundaries,
set boundaries, and just live, like detach in all ways that you can, then you will heal. Because if you don't detach and if you keep communicating, trust me, it will take you back. Chances are very high it will take you back. You cannot, true. Sharon, you cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick.
You cannot.
You cannot.
Very true.
Nimekutana na watu wakisema I'll just say I know I'll be healed as we move on, but I'm like, you cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. You cannot. Just detach. Detach, and if it was made to be someday, then it will find itself back. So
kama DJ Afro anasemanga,
if it was made to just
ikirudi, it was meant to be. If you don't,
ikirudi, maybe itarudi.
If it doesn't come back, then it wasn't meant to be.
Then forgive and forget. And this is my understanding of forgiving and forgetting. I don't think you can literally erase those memories from your mind, but forgetting, to me, it's, you can remember that thing, but it doesn't have the hurting impact it had. Like I can remember Sharon ulinikosea, but it doesn't bring the impact, ile impact una feel heartache. That is the meaning of forgetting to me. Forgive and forget, such that even if you remember, it doesn't bring the negative impact. You're like, oh yeah, it happened.
Yeah, that's a good definition of forgiving and forgetting.
That's my definition of forgiving and forgetting. Because some things you cannot forget. Maybe unaweza kosa kukumbuka saa hii ama kesho, but at some time you kutakuwa na zile triggers and they will remind you of what happened. But forgiving and forgetting is you remember and it doesn't have impact on you.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's a good one. That's really a good one. That reminds me of something that someone was saying the other day, just to take you back to healing and God binding our wounds and stuff. And there's a point you said that nobody else understood what you were feeling apart from God. There was a time, I think, probably, I don't know if I was in the same place, but the same word came to me in he binds your wounds and he heals your heart and binds your wounds. You know, binding a wound is kufunga. Is making it come back to umekatwa, so anakufunga
and protecting.
And then and protecting it from so many things like that. All of those things. So he binds the wounds, and then he starts healing it. So it's a very, very good analogy, and for me it's totally believing in God, totally I think putting all your hope in God. And yes. So I think that was a very good lesson that on healing and moving away from the healing people. Niko sure huku nje watu wamekuwa heartbroken huku nje na wanafaa wa heal. So yes, detach and live. Usiseme ata change tu. Kuna ngapi change. So thank you people for watching this amazing episode. I have been your girl, Sharon Kamau. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.